Hi, my name is Kasia Shremsky, and I am the director of the Wenonge Valley Archaeological Project and a PhD candidate at Vanderbilt University. I am seeking funds to complete radiocarbon analysis and soil sample analysis in order to better understand the subtleties of interaction in the Wenonge Valley on the western slopes of the Peruvian Andes. My research focuses on studying the interactions between coastal, highland, and local groups in the Wenonge Valley during the late intermediate period, which runs from 1100 to 1470 AD. Specifically, I am looking at the relationship between intergroup interaction and agricultural production. Traditionally, the late intermediate period has been understood as a time of warfare and conflict, as different small groups competed with each other for political supremacy in the power vacuum that was left by the fall of the Wari Empire around 1000 AD. However, my research is fitting into a growing body of research that suggests that there were several other strategies of interaction that groups were using to relate to each other at this time. I conducted a preliminary survey in the Wenonge Valley in 2008 and 2009, and during this survey we were able to document the presence of three different groups: the coastal Chancay group, highland Atavíos, and local Wenonge Valley people. Furthermore, during the survey, we did not find any evidence for warfare or conflict of any kind. In 2012, I delved into greater depth in these issues through excavating at the sites of Salitre and Campo Libre. Based on the survey evidence, we know that Salitre was a site occupied by coastal Chancay people, whereas Campo Libre was a site occupied by local Wenonge Valley people. What was particularly interesting during the excavations is that it appears that the people at Salitre, the foreign people at Salitre, had a lot more stuff, which in other words tells us that they were much wealthier than the people at Campo Libre. And this is important because in archaeology, generally, when we see a foreign group coming into the area, and when this foreign group's a lot wealthier, we tend to assume that this group is somehow subjugating or exploiting the local people in the area that it's coming into. However, our excavations at Campo Libre didn't find any evidence for exploitation or control of the Chancay people over local people. So because of this, I had to start thinking about, what's going on here. And what I came to realize based on the other survey data is that the local people at Campo Libre were controlling the irrigation intakes, or in other words, they were controlling access to water, which is very important for agricultural production in this valley. As such, what I think is happening is that local groups were able to leverage this control of water in order to kind of raise their position vis-a-vis the Chancay, thus creating a situation where there's not a strong power differential between groups, and then also making warfare as a less attractive option of interaction between groups because it's not going to be necessarily a clear victor. In contrast, it seems that probably cooperation and alliance building would have been a more attractive option for people looking for a way to share resources in the valley. So one thing that we did find at Salitre was evidence for feasting. As such, what I'm hypothesizing is that the foreign Chancay people at Salitre were hosting feasts and inviting their local neighbors from Campo Libre to come and participate as a way to build alliances and to more peacefully share access to the agricultural resources and water in the region. However, this is where I need your help, and this is why I'm seeking funds. In order to be able to prove my hypothesis, I need to be able to run some soil samples in order to determine what crops are being grown. By processing these samples and looking for pollen, phytolith, and starch grain evidence, I can determine what crops were being grown in different parts of the valley and trace their movement. So for example, if I can show that a particular kind of crop, say maize, was being grown at Campo Libre, and then I find that same kind of maize in the feasting deposits at Salitre, that would go a big way in helping to prove my hypothesis. Furthermore, I need to be able to run radiocarbon samples in order to show that the agricultural activities that were taking place at Campo Libre were happening at the same time that these feasting events were happening at Salitre. Thank you. I hope to receive your support, and I look forward to being able to share the results of my research with you.